Summary of Piecing Me Together by Renée Watson. Jade takes the bus every day from her North Portland area to St. Francis, a private high school on the other side of town where she has a full academic scholarship. In some ways, she feels like she needs to leave her neighborhood in order to achieve her goals. A lot of people don't think Jade's neighborhood is pretty, but she tries to see it that way by collecting trashed paper and putting it together in collages. Mom tells Jade the night before her junior year that she needs to make a friend. That wasn't easy in the past. Most of the kids at St. Francis are rich, even the black ones. Jade thinks that only her best friend Lily really gets her. Tomorrow morning, Jade sees a white girl get off the bus at the same stop. Jade meets with her guidance assistant, Mrs. Parker, at lunch. Jade has wanted to go on the service learning study abroad trip since she started at St. Francis, so she thinks the meeting is about that. Instead, Mrs. Parker gives Jade a folder about the program for women to help women. The awkward thing is that Mrs. Parker tells Jade that she is at risk for certain things because of her situation. But she makes it clear that Jade will get a college grant if she finishes the program. Jade doesn't want to say yes, but she has to. The form has a question that asks Jade what she wants from the program, but she doesn't fill it out. Lily comes over after school. Lily tells Jade about York, the black slave who went on the trip with Lewis and Clark. Jade has never heard of York, but his story moves her. Next day, Jade asks the white girl to sit next to her on the bus. They become fast friends when they learn that both of them get free lunch because of grants. Her name is Sam. They're now good friends by October. This is about the time that Jade goes to the first woman-to-woman meeting. The meeting is terrible. Maxine, Jade's mentor, doesn't show up, and Sabrina, who set it up, tries to get everyone to play a name game. Jade goes home upset. Mom tells her to stand up for herself, but she doesn't listen, and neither does her uncle EJ after a while, though Maxine brings a gift to Jade's house. Jade likes the art material she gives her, but Maxine takes a call from her boyfriend while she's there. EJ tells Maxine that he knows her because she used to date his friend John but broke up with him. Jade isn't sure if Maxine lied to her about the boy. After a few days, Jade visits Sam's home. Mrs. Franklin, Sam's grandma, has Alzheimer's and says racist things, but Mr. Franklin, Sam's grandfather, seems nice and calm. What is it like to go to St. Francis? The girls talk about it. She tells them not to feel bad about getting what they deserve, even though Sam feels bad about her luck. This makes Jade angry because she knows that many people deserve things they don't get. The girls decide that now that they are friends, this year will be better. Jade's birthday is coming up, and Maxine wants to take her out to brunch. But Mom says Maxine can't do that without her permission. Mom makes it clear that she's still a mom, even though she isn't home all the time. Lily and Sam both cancel their plans for Jade's real birthday. Dad doesn't show up either, but EJ brings Jade cheesecake. On Monday, Sam decorates Jade's locker as a surprise. Jade goes to see her dad after school and accepts the digital camera and printer he gave her as a gift. Another few days go by, and Maxine buys Jade books about black collage artists. Because Maxine is kind, Jade feels better about woman-to-woman. Jade goes to Sabrina's house for a meeting about dating, but what she really wants to know is how to pay for a nice house like Sabrina's. Sabrina tells the girls that they need to believe they deserve love and everything they want in life. This makes Jade think that everyone has dreams, but that doesn't mean they'll come true. She feels whole when she's with her teachers and her mom, but broken when she leaves the house. Soon after, Kennedy and Josiah ask Jade and Sam to have lunch with them and some other friends. One girl makes Jade sit in the front seat because she says she won't fit in the back, which makes her feel bad. Another girl talking badly about Northeast Portland makes her feel even worse. Mom gives Jade money for food that night, and she goes to Dairy Queen. There, boys pick on her and call her names, which makes her feel bad about her weight. She makes a picture about what happened. Before Thanksgiving, Jade and Maxine go on a trip together as women. They visit the art museum. As a rude way to remind Jade of the rules, Maxine takes a call from John and leaves Jade to explore the museum on her own. Maxine takes Jade to dinner after the museum, and she says that people in North Portland should never leave their little world. Jade tells Maxine that her friends might not go out much because of the economy, but Maxine doesn't listen and calls Jade a pessimist. Maxine finally stops being rude when Jade tells her so. Maxine begs for another chance and for a while tries harder to spend time with Jade. She asks Jade to come over to her apartment in January to hang out with her friends Bailey and Kira. Kira offers to talk to Jade about sex if she ever needs it, but Maxine says Jade isn't like those girls. Maxine is talking about other girls in Jade's neighborhood, and Jade knows that she's not that different from those girls. This makes Jade angry. After school one day, Jade and Sam go to the mall. Someone tells Sam that she can take her backpack into a changing room, but Jade has to leave her bag at the counter or go outside of the shop. Sam says the clerk was just doing her job and wasn't racist, but Jade knows that the clerk is judging her because of her race. Jade is not in a good mood as she tries to do her homework later because of what happened. It doesn't go over well when Jade tries to ask Mom about going to Woman's healthy eating seminar. Mom takes it as an insult to her food. After a few days, Mom is even more upset when she talks to Jade about her planned trip to the symphony. When they work at the opera, the volunteer is rude and biased. At the same time, Jade keeps thinking about what to do about Sam. She feels terrible when she finds out that their Spanish teacher, Mr. Flores, chose Sam to go on the service learning trip to Costa Rica instead of Jade. Jade wants to be happy for Sam but can't. Maxine asks Jade to come to Soul Food Sunday at her folks' house. Nathan, Mia, and Abby, Nathan's wife, are all nice people, but Maxine won't let Jade talk for herself. Jade has dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Winters after meeting them. Mrs. Winters checks in with everyone to see what's going on, but she doesn't ask Maxine about her news after Abby says she's pregnant. After dinner, Mrs. Winters makes Maxine pack bags of food for Jade and scolds her for not having a job. Maxine makes Jade feel like she needs help and is embarrassed of her. Mom gets angry when Jade tells her that she's thinking about leaving Woman because of Maxine's behavior. She tells Jade to pay attention to Maxine and learn all she can. To go even further, Mom asks Lee to talk to Jade. Lee tells Jade to talk to the people who are organizing Woman. It dawns on Jade that she has been so focused on Spanish that she has forgotten how to stand up for herself in English. After a few days, Jade asks Maxine to meet up. She tells Maxine that the way she acts makes her feel bad. Maxine says she's sorry, will do better, and even says she'll stop seeing John. But she also makes Jade promise to give people and things a second chance. On Monday, Jade is very upset to learn that cops in Vancouver beat up a black teen named Natasha Ramsey. That day at lunch, Jade and a white girl named Hannah were being rude to Ms. Weber, who was watching the lunch. Even though Hannah starts this and is much meaner, Mrs. Weber sends Jade to Mrs. Parker's office instead of Hannah. She tells Jade to go home. Later, Sam says on the phone that Hannah's lack of punishment had nothing to do with the fact that she is white. Jade calls Lee because she is fed up. As the night goes on, Jade works on a collage about York. A few days later, she tells Maxine what happened with Sam. Maxine tells Jade that she should talk to Sam about how she feels and that she should remember that Jade gets different but important things from her friendship with Sam. After listening to what Maxine and Lee said, Jade goes up to Mr. Flores and asks him why he didn't put her forward for the study abroad trip. He keeps saying that he has to be fair to his kids, and Jade already gets a lot of help. Jade tells him that she taught half of the kids there because he thinks of her as black instead of a star student. As the trip gets closer, Jade goes to see Sam. It's not fair that Jade gets to go to the museum and the concert, but Sam thinks it is. Jade tries to show Sam that people think she should go to Costa Rica because she's white. Jade leaves Sam's house because she thinks it will be easier this way. During spring break, Jade makes drawings and watches a scary but peaceful police stop with her friends. Sam sees her when she gets back to school, but they don't talk. Things are getting better with Maxine. Maxine and Jade become friends because they have both been victims of racism, and Jade asks Woman to Woman to put on a very helpful class on how to handle money. Jade also loves going to Mia's art store, and one night she even lets Maxine help her take out her braids. Mom doesn't like Maxine at first, but she starts to like her more when Maxine says she doesn't know how to cook. She starts to learn with Mom's help. The trip to Mia's show is great, and Jade even gets the nerve to ask for an internship application. Sabrina asks Jade at the next meeting if she would be willing to put together a collage for the Woman to Woman sale. Jade is thrilled to show off her work. Jade talks to a lot of people at the event. Some offer to help her, but others are racist toward her. She thinks about all the people who want her to do well but don't know her very well, like Andrew, the man who buys her college. The following night, Jade and Lee decide to remember Natasha Ramsey by putting together a party. They plan to have an art show and a poetry reading before Jade thinks to ask Mia if she would be willing to host. Thank goodness Mia is, and the event gets bigger as more people join. Sam and Jade finally talk to each other one day in Spanish class. She says she's sorry and doesn't know how to talk about race. After class, Mr. Flores also tells Jade he's sorry and that he's already put her name down for next year's trip. After this, Jade and Sam's bond goes back to normal, and Sam jumps at the chance to help plan the benefit. On the night of the event, Jade feels grateful for her neighborhood, and Lee reads a poem about how strong black girls are. Jade makes one last painting about York that has a picture of herself on it. She and York are both carrying maps, and they are journeying to find out more about themselves.
About the author. Watson was born in Paterson, New Jersey, the youngest of 5 kids, but she grew up in Portland, Oregon after her parents' divorce. She discovered the Harlem Renaissance poet Langston Hughes in school and fell in love with poetry and writing, a passion that her parents and teachers encouraged. As a senior in high school, Watson helped teach poetry to younger students, something that she went on to do professionally for 20 years before becoming a novelist, and that she has continued to do since publishing her first books. Watson's first book, a picture book to help explain hurricanes to children, was published during Watson's final term at the new school, where she was studying creative writing and art therapy. She has since written another picture book and several middle grade and young adult novels, though Piecing Me Together is her most well-known and critically acclaimed work. The novel was inspired in part by Watson's experiences as a mentor and as a mentee. Watson lives in New York City.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.